Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another day of live training. Super excited to have you all with me here again today. As the title suggests, today we're going to be going through how to make people ask you for your affiliate link. Okay, most common question I get asked in my inbox, easily, hands down. I've been asked this 1,000 times. It's taken me a ton of money, a ton of effort, energy, time poured into this in order to figure this out. So really excited to share this stuff with you guys today. You know the drill by now. If you guys are jumping on replay, drop me a hashtag replay. But for those of you guys who are jumping on live, I can see there's a couple on now. Drop me a hashtag live as always. Let me know where you're checking in from. Very exciting day. It's New Year's Eve here in Australia today. So I know a lot of you guys will be based in the US. So it is still the 30th. But yeah, really excited, gearing up for an exciting night and a big 2021. So super excited to bring that in. Hey, thanks for jumping on, guys. If you haven't already, just click on the link in the description to this live. There should be like a link you can grant StreamYard permission just so I can see who is commenting. Otherwise, it just comes up as Facebook user for me, so I'm not too sure who's asking questions and who is checking in. Who have we got on live? Shelly, welcome back. Craig, welcome back. RJ, what is going on? Thanks for dropping me some hashtags, guys. Good to see you guys all active again. Queensland, Australia, another Aussie. So New Year's Eve, happy New Year's Eve. It's getting exciting. Live from Paris. Great to have you on, man. All the way across the world. Really exciting. Guys, if you are jumping on live, don't forget, drop me a hashtag live. Let me know where you're checking in from. I appreciate all of you guys who have done that already. Brandon, what's going on? Happy New Year's Eve. Exciting. We actually just found out that our restrictions have been placed back to 15 people only indoors. So my New Year's Eve plans just got cancelled. So we're formulating a new plan right now. Joanna, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on live and welcome back. All right, guys, let's jump straight into it. So I want to do a really quick recap of yesterday. Baby goats being born all around me, freezing in the snow, electricity out, mirror broke, but here I am. Now that is dedication. I love it. Well done, Charlie. It would have been easy for you to not show up today. It sounds like you had a lot of excuses to not show up, but good on you. Look, guys, let's jump straight into it. Okay, I'm going to try and share my screen and see if I can get my face out of it this time so the graph is a little bit bigger for you guys. Hopefully you can see that. Just give me a quick confirmation down below. Can you see me? Can you see the screen? Can you hear me? Everything's all good before I jump into it and start talking too much. Just give me like an all good or something in the comments before I get stuck into it, guys. Back in Brizzy. Much better. All right, good stuff. We can see it. I finally figured it out. I'm not a wizard with tech, but I've managed to figure this one out. So let's get stuck into it, guys. Okay, today I just want to do a quick recap on layer one. So what we spoke about yesterday. So I said that there was two layers to me identifying high ticket buyers on Facebook, right? Number one was a series of 6 basic filters. One is make sure that they're not branded. So they're not heavily branded. They don't look like they're crushing it. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail. If you haven't already, I've done a live yesterday and the day before on all this stuff in detail. So if you're watching this and you're not too sure what I'm talking about, head back into the group and you'll be able to watch those on a replay. So the 6 filters, not too heavily branded, don't look like they're crushing it. We want to make sure that they are from a tier 1 country. Okay, we want to make sure they don't have a ton of mutual friends or that they don't have no mutual friends. We want to find some common ground here. Age, we want to find someone that is probably under the age of maybe 65 and over the age of probably 21 or 25 because they've got some money behind them. Okay, experience and state of awareness. I spoke about that in detail yesterday. So again, guys, a reminder, if you haven't checked it out, head back over. I rambled on about that for quite a while. I went into quite a bit of detail on what the states of awareness are. But to put it really simply today, we've got people who are problem aware. We've got people who are solution aware, and we've got people who are also product aware sometimes. They are going to be the easiest sales to close. Okay, and then the last thing I spoke about was my red alerts. So red alerts, if their profile says crypto, Forex, trading, accounts manager, anything like that, that's probably not our ideal audience. That's not who we want to be targeting. Okay, and I've added a new one in here. If their profile is brand new, Like if they started their profile 2 days ago, it's probably not someone we want to be talking to. Chances are a big percentage of these people are going to be fake profiles or bots. So I try and avoid adding brand new profiles. Okay, we want it to look like a normal person, essentially, is what I'm getting at here. So I hope that is all making sense, guys. Now, just a quick layer 2 recap. So layer 2, I spoke about 2 different scenarios, right? Bob, who has a leaking toilet and has a flooded basement. Okay, he's got an urgent problem. And I spoke about the fact that how easy that sale is going to be to close, because Bob has a leaking toilet. He's knee deep in toilet water. He needs to solve that problem now. Okay, so these are the types of people we need to be looking for. We need to look for people, as you can see, I've written a note here, with an urgent problem. That is always going to be the easiest sale, and that is how I've been able to close so many high-ticket sales, is finding people who have an urgent problem that need to solve it now. Okay, and the opposite end of that is Jane, who doesn't have a flooded basement, who we're going to try and pitch our product on, but probably has no interest because Jane doesn't have a problem. She doesn't want any plumbing work done because she's not knee deep in toilet water. Okay, she doesn't have an urgent problem. So to put it really elegantly, we want to find people who are knee deep in toilet water. We want to find Bob, who has a flooded basement, who has an urgent problem and needs to solve it now. Guys, just let me down below. Is that all making sense, guys? Just give me like a hashtag make sense or a make sense or all good or something like that. Any questions on this stuff? Otherwise, we'll jump into it. Little bigger, please. I can't make it any bigger than this, unfortunately, on StreamYard. AJ, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on live, my man. Craig, the slides are not in the group units. The slides will be updated, and I'll upload them into this group as soon as we're all done. Yeah, cool. Someone's helped me answer that question. Thanks. Facebook user, I can't see. Thanks for the confirmation, guys. All making sense. Let's move on. Okay, so let's have a chat about what most people are doing. And when I say most people, I'm not excluding myself from that category because I was most people for a long time. I did this for a long time. Okay, so what most people are doing is they're adding everybody. They're jumping into a Facebook group, right? And they'll just add everybody. A lot of people are using, you can see here, automation to add friends from groups. But most of us are just sort of going through, clicking on a post, and whoever's engaged with it, going through, boom, 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 adding 50, 100 friends off the bat really, really quickly, right? That's what most people are doing, and that's what I spent months doing. By doing this, I created a massive mess in my inbox. It was taking me so long to sift through these conversations with people who just weren't the right people for me. They didn't have a problem. They weren't interested in what I was promoting. It was just a waste of my time, and to be frank, it was a waste of their time. Okay, so basically what everybody is doing is throwing their lines in and fishing from the same pond. So there's like maybe 5 groups. Like I don't want to mention names again, but I can think of a couple off the top of my head that I know I used to add from, and I know everybody around me was adding friends from. So everybody was fishing from the same pond. We're all throwing our lines in and just sort of fishing from that exact same pond, right? But the problem with that is that you've got to ask yourself a question. Are you the best fisherman with their line in the pond? Like, are you the best fisherman that's thrown their line in this pond, right? Because that's the problem with doing this. When everybody's fishing from the same pond, you're going to get lucky. You're going to find leads. You'll get some sales, even if you're not the best fisherman. But it's going to be tough. Like they're going to be few and far between. It's not going to be easy in order to do that. Okay, so you've got to ask yourself: are you the best fisherman with their line in this pond? If not, we need to look at a different way to approach this whole thing, all right? Because if everybody's fishing in that same pond, just adding the same friends, we're not putting any thought into it, we're not filtering, we're just going through and adding a bunch of people, it's going to be a recipe for a bad time. Okay, so you've got to ask yourself, do you want to work 10 hours a day to find a fish? Because if you are prepared, and here's the truth, like if you're prepared to work 10, 12 hours a day, sure, you can probably find a sale. Look, if you're pretty good at sales, probably every day. You can probably find a sale, but who wants to work 10 or 12 hours a day, right? You've got to ask yourself this. I know it sounds good in the beginning, but you want to work smarter and not harder. Okay, we don't want to be just trying to make this happen by brute force. We need to be smart and tactical about what it is that we're doing and where we're fishing from. Okay, so without, as I sort of said, without a competitive advantage, without a massive amount of momentum or authority behind us, that puts us way ahead of the pack of everybody else who is fishing in this same pond, you're going to have a really hard time. And that's the truth. It's going to be really tough. I spent, probably 4 months doing this exact thing, just jumping in the same places as everyone without a competitive advantage, not being a great fisherman, aka not being a great salesman, and just sort of hoping for the best. And it led to me burning out a couple of times. I felt exhausted. I felt like the whole thing wasn't working. I wanted to give up. I was frustrated. It wasn't easy. Like, it was really, really tough. Okay, so if you're fishing from the same pond without a competitive advantage, if you're not the best fisherman in the pond, you're probably going to have to work 10 hours a day in order to make a sale, and you're probably going to burn out. It's not something that's sustainable at all. Nobody wants to be doing this. Okay, so the whole theory, right, is that we need to find a pond with less fishermen that also has the right kind of fish in it. Okay, so if we're not using the right kind of bait, like if there's not the right kind of fish that we're looking for in there, again, we're wasting our time. Okay, this is the really important stuff, okay? It's like, don't undervalue this stuff, guys. If we're not getting in front of the right people, nothing else matters, because we're just doing things by brute force. We're literally jumping into these groups, hoping that maybe someone's kind of interested in online business. Maybe we can sort of persuade one person out of every 300 or 400 to buy, but it's by sheer brute force. Like, we're not doing things smart, okay? We need to find a pond with less fishermen that actually has the right fish in it. Hope that is all making sense, guys. And as I spoke about yesterday, I've decided to do a second round of the secret edge. That is exactly what I'm going to be sharing in there. That is exactly the secret edge that I have, is where I find these high ticket buyers, exactly where I go, exactly what I say to them. Okay, because at the end of the day, this is the secret edge. This is my biggest advantage. If you have the right ponds to fish from that have the right kind of fish in them, 10K a month should be a simple process. We only need to have 10 simple conversations with these people who have an urgent problem, right? We know they have an urgent problem. We've already run our filters. We know we're chatting to the right people. We're getting in front of the right people. Okay, it should be a simple process from here. And this is what I feel is my biggest advantage, is being able to spot these high ticket buyers, but not only spot them, know exactly where to find them. Okay, this made the world of difference for me. Okay. So we've talked about how to find the right people, how to filter them, how to get in front of the right people. I've sort of dropped a little bit of teaser, but to let you guys know that this is my biggest advantage. This is what I share in the secret edge, and this is where I find my high ticket buyers. Okay. But once you've found them, how do you sell to these people? Okay. That's the biggest question, right? Like, that everyone has, is there. A lot of people's priorities are to get in front of the right, is to improve on their sales skills, right? But they neglect the fact that they need to be getting in front of the right people, because if someone doesn't have a problem, as we've spoken about, you're wasting your time. You can be the best salesman in the world. You're probably not going to close a sale. You might close a couple of sales, but if they don't have a problem, what's the point, right? So that begs the question, how do we sell to these people once we find them? Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to drop this one out so it's a bit clearer. Here's what most people do. And as I say, when I say most people, I was included in this for a long, long time until I found my way. Most people will jump into a group. We'll add these people, probably unfiltered. We'll jump in. We're going to add them as a friend. We're going to send them an outreach message. A lot of the time, it might be an automated message or something like that. Some of us personalized, which is good. But we're going to send them a message to get the conversation going. We're going to start asking questions. Okay. Usually we'll find maybe a little bit of common ground. We'll ask a bunch of questions and try and pitch them on our product. That's the typical, the way that a typical conversation goes for so many of us marketers when we're beginning, is that we add someone as a friend, we send them a message, ask a bunch of questions. They start getting an idea of what's about to happen, and then we'll pitch them on our product and see if they're interested. Okay. This is exactly what they're expecting. This is exactly what these people are expecting from you, because if they've got some mutual friends, they've spoken to marketers before, okay? They know the rundown. They know when the questions start, the pitch is coming really, really soon, okay? And the answer is normally no. They've got their walls up 10 feet high. They're not open to it because they've been pitched a dozen times already, or even if they haven't been pitched a dozen times already, they don't know you. You've just sort of jumped into their inbox, pitched them on a product, and the answer is no, right? It's a no-brainer. Like, if someone jumps in my inbox, asks me a bunch of questions out of the blue and pitches me, the answer is no every single time, okay? So think about when someone asks you if you need help in a store, okay? When someone comes up to you in a store, right, and asks you if you need help, Most of the time, the answer is no. It's straight away. Like, you don't even think about it. Like, I know for me, when I'm in a store and someone comes up, do you need help finding the right product or something like that? I'll just say, no, I'm all good. Thanks. I'm just looking. Even if I need help, right? It's just like a natural reflex. Like, I just straight away tell people, no, I'm all good. Thank you. Move on. Okay. So that's the way I want you guys to look at this. When we're doing exactly what they expect, this is the way things go. And that's the same feeling that we're creating for them. Okay. So we need to do something that they're not expecting. Something that they do not expect. All right. We need to throw them off a little bit. So what's the correct way to do this? How do you actually get someone to ask you for their affiliate link? Okay. So the first thing I want to touch on is that the fact that having quality content is absolutely essential in this process. And content is not something I'm going to cover today. Content is something that I covered I actually did an hour video of it in the Secret Edge training. I went into detail on my strategy, the psychology behind it, all sorts of things. Like, I went right into depth on content. So I just want to make a point here to say that content is an extremely vital part of this process. You need to be creating quality content daily, following a proper content formula. Okay, super, super important, non-negotiable, this stuff. Okay, but how do we do something that they're not expecting, right? If we're already doing the content, we've added someone as a friend and we want to chat to them. So reach out to them. We're going to send them a message. And instead of being really dry with the messaging, we're going to chat to them as if we're talking to a friend. Okay, so it's kind of like those salesmen that get you, right? They've got me so many times, right, in stores. They walk up and instead of asking if I need help with anything, they just walk up. They're like, hey, how's your day going? Oh, that's really good. You know, what'd you get up to on the weekend? That's great. And they'll start telling you a little bit about what they did on the weekend. It feels like you're talking to a friend, right? They make you feel super comfortable. And then a couple of questions later, they'll be like, so do you need help with anything? You're going to be so much more open to listening to what they have to say and actually asking for help, right? Because even if you've got a problem, as we said before, if someone just walks up and says, do you need any help? The answer is no, as like a default reflex. You don't even think about it, right? But if we walk up to someone, chat to them as if we are talking to a friend, right? Be their friend. Chat to them, ask them how they're going, what they're up to, find some common ground with them, actually build some rapport. It's going to make a huge difference, right? A huge, huge difference, like massive. Okay, so that gives us like the whole dynamic of the conversation's changed already because we're chatting to them as if we are their friend. We found the common ground. We don't have a particular motive here. I think I probably should have moved this one up here, which I will. So disconnect and have no motive in the conversation. There's no like, hope I make a sale out of this conversation. The goal of this conversation, right, is to get to know someone, to find out a little bit about them, find some common ground, be their friend, and maybe figure out where they're at if they're in an online business or something like that. But that is not like the goal is not to make a sale here. And this is so important. I know it's easy to say, like it's easy to go, well, you know, you're making sales and that's why you're disconnected from the sale because you don't need it. Right. But there was a point where I had to disconnect the sale in order to start making sales. It's super important when you come in and you are hungry to make a sale. It's something I learned off someone that I respect in the marketing game is a term called sales breath. Like people can smell your sales breath, right? When you are totally connected to the outcome of this conversation, your motive, right, is to make a sale. People can smell the sales breath and it stinks and they know straight away. And the same thing is going to happen. They're going to back off. Okay, so we need to stay disconnected from the sale completely. We want to chat to them as if we're talking to a friend, build rapport, ask them how they're going, how's their kids, like if they've got kids, you know, how was their weekend, how was their Christmas, how was their New Year's, whatever that is, right? Be their friend, right? Disconnect and have no motive in the conversation, right? At this point, you can answer any questions they might have. So you can let them know at some point it's going to come up. What do you do? Like, what do you do? And you can let them know what you do. And quite often, if they have questions, they're going to start asking, right? Because you're their friend. They trust you. They like you. You found common ground. You haven't tried to pitch them on anything. You've just let them know what you do. And if they have any questions, they're going to start asking, right? And this is a really powerful thing because you are in the alpha position here. They're asking you questions. They trust you, right? And you're leading the conversation because they're curious. They're sort of asking you qualifying questions now about exactly what it is that you do. Okay, so even if they don't ask questions on the spot, that's okay, all right? Leave it there. We do not want to pitch them, right? Because when they do have questions, they are naturally going to come to you. When they have a problem that needs to be solved, they are naturally going to come to you because they've had a really positive experience. You've portrayed yourself as an authority, but not as a sleazy salesman that's trying to push a product on them. You didn't even pitch them, right? You've just jumped into a conversation, had a bit of back and forth, built some rapport, got to know them. And then when it comes time that they have a problem, quite often this will be through your content, and that should be, again, the goal of your content. This is why this stuff is so crucial, is that someone will reach out. They'll read one of your posts, or they'll sort of spend a bit of time thinking about it, and they'll reach back out and be like, hey, so about affiliate marketing, I had a couple of questions, right? Really powerful stuff. All of a sudden, you've got an inbound lead. Again, this is the position you want to be in. So I hope you guys are seeing the difference here. Like in this situation, there's zero pressure. There's no pressure involved. There's no serious sales skills needed, right? There's no magic going on. It's literally a matter of we've just planted a seed with someone. We've built some rapport. We've got to know them. We've been their friend. If they've had any questions, we've answered them. If not, when they've reached back out, we've answered any questions. We've led them to a solution for their problem, and there's no pressure. Okay, there's no there's no need to be this awesome salesman or have all the greatest objection overcoming techniques or anything like that, right? Because it's super simple, and that's it happens time and time again in my inbox where it's somebody just reaches out based off one of my pieces of content. They're problem solution aware, probably product aware. They've got a couple of questions for me. Understandable. I had questions as well when I started. I answer them, I point them in the right direction, and they're ready to start. Okay? No pressure. No serious sales skills. Nice and easy. Guide them in the right direction. All right. So I hope you guys can see the massive difference here and the changing dynamic between what most people are doing and what we need to do. Okay. Huge, huge difference. It's like night and day. The whole dynamic of the conversation is different. It's going to be so much easier for you to close these sales, 100 times easier. These are the sort of conversations that you want to be having. And this is how you get someone to ask you for your affiliate link. This is exactly how you do it, because you build rapport, you get to know them, you find some common ground, you act like you're the friend. Well, not act like you're their friend, you become their friend. You genuinely get to know them. I've probably framed that the wrong way. The point of this isn't to act like we want to be friends with someone. It's to genuinely be their friend and get to know them and be honestly curious about it, about who they are, about what they're doing, right? And then when they have questions, it's going to be a very easy sale for us to close. And we didn't even go into this conversation with the goal of having a sale. Okay, I'm going to jump across to the feed and see what is going on. Sterling, what is going on, my man? Thanks for jumping on. Craig, Shelley, Keith, thanks for jumping on live, man. Nate, facts, wandering around aimlessly. Absolutely, man. Look, this is all strategy. It's all about working smart and not hard. We do not want to overwork ourselves. We want to be smart in our strategy and not have to work too hard. Let me know down below, guys. Is this all making sense? All clear? Give me something different. Let's mix it up. Give me an all clear or something like that instead of a makes sense. That one's getting a bit old, isn't it? If you have any questions you want to ask around this stuff, feel free. You can start dropping them down below. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Let's figure this out. Boom. And there we go. I'm back. So guys, I hope that is all clear. There's a huge difference in the dynamic when we're doing this stuff, a massive, massive difference in the ability to be able to close these conversations. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got the Secret Edge training, the masterclass. I've sort of hinted at that a few times, but due to popular demand, we did one round, and due to popular demand, we've decided to bring it back. It sold out in 24 hours the first time. We doubled our capacity. It was crazy. So I've decided to bring it back and do another round. This is also, I wanted to mention, this is also what I teach in the Secret Edge training, is I actually do something that I've only ever done once before, and that was on the first round of the Secret Edge training. I actually opened up my Messenger live. This wasn't screenshots or anything. I pulled up my Facebook, I shared my screen, and I jumped into my inbox, and I actually went through, I think it was 3 conversations to show people just how simple this process is. It was literally a matter of 6 back and forths. Someone reached out, had a couple of questions. I answered the questions. They said they were ready to go. I sent them the link, and I made $1,000 sale. And that's what I'm sharing in the Secret Edge training. It's the exact method I use to hit over $50,000 in 92 days and $80,000 in 5 months. Okay, really, really excited. This is the second time I've ever done it. So I'm super, super excited for this masterclass. I know some of you guys on here now have already registered. For those who are watching this and a little bit curious, want a little bit more information, I'm going to be really annoying again. I'm going to be back on the 1st of Jan with another live. I'm going to share a bunch more value for you guys. And if you are interested in checking out, I can give you information on the 1st of January. Hold tight. Bear with me. I'll be able to share a ton more value, and I'll give you a little bit more information. Look, guys, if it's absolutely burning you up, I have an early bird list. So if this is absolutely burning you up, you're super curious about what it is, you want to check it out, feel free to send me a message right now in my Facebook saying TSE, but the early bird list only has 5 spots left. Okay, and that's genuine. It's an early bird list for a reason. We can only take on a certain amount of people in the early bird list. So if it's burning you up and you've got to check it before the 1st of Jan, send me TSE right now in my inbox. Otherwise, I'll be back for a live on the 1st, and we're going to go through this stuff in a lot more detail. I've got a really exciting one to share for you guys. Deb Thomas, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on live. You did press StreamYard. I don't know why it's not showing your name. That's strange. Stuart, sorry, dude, a bit late. No stress. You can check out the replay. Not a problem. All clear. Awesome. All making sense, guys. Debbie, shoot us through a message and I will chat to you about that if you want a little bit more info. Craig, I know, I'm glad you went through everything. I know you got a ton of value, so great to hear. Shelly, can we sign up next week? I've got some funds coming in on Monday and I really want to be there. Yeah, absolutely. Look, as I said, it sold out in 24 hours last time. I can't promise anything, but I'll be back on the 1st with a little bit more information and I'll be able to share a link with you if you are interested in it. So I think you should be all right. I think it should be safe, but I can't make any promises because it went super quickly last time. Really excited about this one. Guys, any questions at all? I haven't seen any big questions come up around anything I spoke about today. I'm happy to field any questions around the messenger. Look, if you've got questions around the secret edge, I'm happy to field them here today, but I will have more information on the 1st. But particularly wanted to focus on what we spoke about today in a lot more detail. So anybody who wants info, feel free to drop it below. Even if it's not related to what we've chatted about today, if you want to ask something about what we spoke about, a couple of days ago. Craig, if you want any more info, man, just shoot us through a DM. Happy to chat. Happy to chat about that in more detail. Nate, look forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to sharing this stuff with you. Really, really exciting. As I said, it's the second time I've ever done this. Like I've screenshotted and done conversation analysis before, right? But I've never actually opened up my inbox live. I was a bit scared, actually, to be honest. I was worried my Wi-Fi wasn't going to load. But yeah, that was exciting. Shelley, you almost make this questionless so clear. Now, that is what I want to hear. A lack of questions isn't a bad thing. It means everything's super clear. Everyone understands, and I'm really glad to hear that. So worth pushing through the baby goats in the candlelight. That is dedication. I'm really glad you made it out today. Like, really, really glad. That's dedication, and that's what it takes. Like, that's a really, really good thing to see. Deb, did you say where is the best groups to find the people we want? Did I miss something? No. So you haven't missed anything. I did a little bit of a teaser. And look, this is the stuff that I cover in the Secret Edge in detail. We go into exactly where I'm fishing. What ponds am I fishing from? Where can we start to look for these groups? I know you said you just sent me a DM, so we'll have a chat about it anyway. As soon as I jump off this live, I'll shoot you back a quick voice message and we'll go from there. Craig, thanks, my man. I appreciate that. Making us wait again. Yeah, look, it's only the 1st. Like, I didn't want to do another live tomorrow, right? Because it's New Year's Day for me and it's New Year's Eve for a lot of you guys in the US. So I know a lot of people are going to be busy. You know, everyone's got New Year's plans, stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to be back on the 1st at 8 p.m. most likely. I'll keep you posted in the group. And we're going to go with another training, give you a ton more information, but I'm really excited to share it. Always making you guys wait. I appreciate you guys who have been showing up. We've got 23 people who are still on live. I really appreciate this. And this shows the dedication, right? I've been talking for half an hour now and you guys are still here. So yeah, big ups to everyone who is still jumping on live. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds, guys. If you have any questions that have popped in your head, feel free to drop them below. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap things up. If you are checking this on a replay, guys, drop me a hashtag replay. Anyone who's on live who hasn't let me know already, drop me a hashtag live. Come on, join in, guys. Let me know where you're checking in from. David, good question. Should I only be focusing on people that fit both layer 1 and 2, or is it just layer 1 worth testing? My advice is that I would focus on people who fit both. Okay, people who fit both. So layer 1, I've sort of explained in detail. That should be pretty clear. Exactly the filters that I'm using, right? Layer 1 is pretty clear, right? The layer 2 is my secret edge, is my biggest advantage, and that is what I'm teaching in the secret edge. So the layer 2 is where I find these people who have an urgent problem. My advice, man, to answer your question really simply, is if you can find people who fit in both layer 1 and layer 2, the percentages, like, you're going to save yourself so much time, because such a high percentage of the people who are fitting into both of these categories are going to be buyers, are going to be high ticket buyers with an urgent problem. Yeah. So to put it really simply, both is always going to be best. Craig, we Americans love your Aussie accent. What accent? That's awesome. I quite like the US accent too. Not a problem, Shelley. Have a great night. I'm glad to see you jumped on again. We'll be enjoying my night as well. Not sure what we're doing yet, but we'll figure it out. Thanks for checking in, guys. Brisbane, Portugal, Greenville. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Any questions pop up, feel free to drop them in the group. I'll approve your post as quickly as possible. I'm going to be back in 48 hours, right? 48 hours with another live. So mark it in your calendar. I'm going to create an event, set a reminder. You don't want to miss this stuff. It's going to keep getting more valuable, guys. If you haven't already, if this is the first one you're watching, head back. I've already done 2 parts to this series. So head back and watch from the start. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in 48 hours. Have a great New Year's. Be happy, be safe, enjoy it however you guys can. I know there's some restrictions all across the world, but I hope you guys all enjoy it. And yeah, I'll catch you very early in the new year. See you guys.